Welcome back. It's the North Florida Sports Network. You're doing all right today. It's a Friday. Got a lot to get to. We're going to talk about the NCAA. Woohoo!
Violation Friday.
Yeah, we got our NCAA cast of characters. Our FSU contributor, Jimmy Reno's here. And we got our Miami contributor, Justin, on the line to talk about it. Because
I'm not here to dance on the grave, guys.
No, there's no grave.
I'm not here to dance on the grave.
No, we're here to just talk about.
It seems like it's always one of us, Florida State or Miami, when we're talking about the NCAA.
Yeah. Well, we thought we were going to talk about more hoops.
Yeah.
Around this time. We can get into that later because that's still kind of crazy. That's a little unpredictable, but let's start it with FSU has been hit with Level II NCAA violations for NIL improprieties. Yeah, Jimmy Reno, let's take us through the details of what was laid down.
It's real easy, man. Mems came here. Marius Mems, guy for Georgia, came here back in 2022 after he got in the portal. For some reason, it was made public news that the kid was going to show up at Florida State, and everybody was there at the Moore Center to film and take pictures, and all kinds of internet reports were made, and commitment articles that shouldn't have been put out, stuff like that. But ultimately, Alex Atkins drove the kid and his family to a booster's house who was part of this Rising Spirit collective. And then I guess left the room when the booster and the kid were discussing payment to come here. I mean, your pretty standard contract negotiation, which I guess.
Well, I think it's.
Well, yeah, I mean they're doing something that you kind of throw your hands up. Oh,
everybody's doing it.
I guess that was wrong. Yeah, everybody's doing it. The issue I have from Florida State's side is just how sloppy everything was handled. You don't. Come on, man. This is like season one of The Wire, dude. Are you taking notes during a criminal conspiracy? Like, what?
Well, I don't think they knew it was going to be like that, honestly.
And that's
kind of petty by the NCAA.
That's my problem.
Honestly,
and we'll get with that later with Florida State staff. But it's petty, but the NCAA. But
definitely,
you can't put it out there. Georgia has no choice.
You think the Dogs site is doing that? You're saying like the site like War Chant is like publishing its own evidence against the school it's covering. Way to go, guys!
Yeah, nice one.
Yeah.
what are they trying to be like the next Dan Lebitard reporting on the Pell Grant scandal in '92?
Yeah,
exactly, man.
And that's
that's pretty much what you got there. I mean, I don't think it was on purpose, though. I think it's just kind of like not knowing what you're
did
doing.
We accidentally just snitch on ourselves?
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I just from Florida State, the way I'm looking at it, man, like you guys got to run a bit of a tighter ship,
right? You got
to know who you're dealing with when you're trying to take a kid from Georgia.
Yeah.
You got to know the way that the world works in the Southeast when you're talking about football.
That's true.
You ain't dangling it out there, rubbing somebody's nose in it, because that's going to get calls from the UGA movers and shakers.
Right. This was 2 years ago, though.
Yeah.
2 years ago, I mean, desperate times call for desperate measures, maybe. And I don't think this is happening now, but I think this, it's just really just what the who. I don't think if you're a fan of college football and actually know what's going on,
I think it's happening now.
But why does it matter? Like, why are they getting penalized for what everyone's doing? Like, I don't understand that part about it. Like, what are we wasting time on the NCAA investigation and compliance for what? We're paying the players anyway. Like, everybody's paying them,
right? But they gotta every once in a while find somebody to bully, so they can still show some muscle.
Well, you know about that, right, Justin?
Yeah.
Yes, dude, the comparisons, like I was telling you earlier, not in actual violations wise, but in the overall view of this situation at FSU right now. First thing I thought of was Nevin Shapiro and freaking Al Golden with the Hurricanes. when the NCAA just has a hard-on for Miami.
Story.
Yeah, and they're like, and it wrecked the program for 5 years, like completely wrecked us.
Yeah,
right.
Dark cloud over.
And it was a BS charge in the first place. There, I mean, like, oh, you got free access at Live. You didn't have to pay a cover charge. Like, give me a break.
Yeah, it's similar. Yeah, what the hell's going on? It's like also targeted here. Like,
also at a time when the credibility and the actual enforcement ability of the NCAA was being questioned in courts.
And then,
it was just
go ahead. And then during the Nevin Shapiro investigation, the NCAA got caught breaking their own investigation rules.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember
another investigation.
Right. Yeah,
right.
I mean, the targeting, like you said, I think that's a perfect.
Well, look, dude. I came to find out. I thought they keep saying this is the first major violation for NIL related things, but if you look at it, Miami was hit first with a smaller one. So it's funny that the first two programs are hit.
Who are the two
violations for this
prominent programs in the Southeast that actually utilize NIL? Because Clemson does not. Clemson doesn't do the transfer portal.
Miami's crazy.
Miami
with the
and Florida State.
Florida State. Everyone else that
it's funny that they're the first two that were Miami was penalized much less, probably because they didn't lie about it.
Well, maybe. Yeah, they didn't broadcast it,
and they didn't have their website. Yeah, they didn't have the Canes guy, like following them around, like taking pictures and stuff. Like what? Like
that's amateur hour right there. That's where Florida State has nobody to blame but themselves for that aspect of it.
Well, I don't. I'm credentialed in Pittsburgh.
Wow.
Yeah,
and
we don't have press creds, bro.
No, we do at some of the pro stadiums.
Yeah.
Woo!
But I don't know, man. That's different. I don't think that was, like I said, 2 years ago. Right. I think I don't have a problem.
It wasn't intentional. You'd like to assume, by anybody that has a website out there that helped snitch on Florida State, but come on, guys.
Hey, whatever gets clicks.
Yeah, exactly. It's infotainment.
It leads. Well, it's going to be interesting to see as Alabama looks for a coach. They kind of predicted it would be today or by midnight. By the stroke of midnight, Cinderella will be put the glass slipper on. Who's it going to be?
I still think it's going to be Norvell, man.
Really?
Yeah.
I know that's just right. This is Jimmy Reno just going to
what I think is they want
preparing for the
they
worst.
Want Kalen DeBoer more. I think he's their first choice, but I think DeBoer is actually going to work this into a lot of money from Washington and more commitment.
That's another thing right there.
Right. And
Jimmy
I think
Sexton
they'll pivot.
Running a freaking factory here.
Well, look what it did. Look what it did for Dan Lanning. Like, there's actually
we have to get Jimmy Sexton some sort of client or someone like. I mean, there's got to be collusion and like that unintentional here, but goodness gracious, I mean he is representing everybody, like everybody new and old. Like this guy's retiring. Okay, well I got you another guy here. My guy's gonna get.
He is Bob Sugar,
right? Well, that's
bigger than that. He runs the sport. He's like the lead promoter of the boxing match, which is college football. He is the Don King of college football.
Yeah.
Of like if college football was the match, he's Don King.
No,
he's putting it on. It feels like
and right up
Vince
to
McMahon.
Dude, he'll get you. He will get you a premier job and then create the hot seat to get you out of that job for another client.
Right.
Like that's the way he operates.
Right. I mean, he is.
It's basically like sign with me and you're guaranteed success, but I get to eat one of your kids.
Right. Well, I know a lot of FSU fans are eager to find out what Norvell's going to do. I think he's.
Shit, I'm super eager to find out.
Right. As a Miami
staying
fan,
at FSU,
I would be interested too. There's a lot of Gator fans.
Well, now
I did hear Napier did throw his name out there as interested into the job, but unfortunately,
that's sweet.
Unfortunately, he's absolute garbage.
Well, as of this morning, like earlier 9:30, Norvell was eating breakfast with the transfer kids that are visiting.
Right, from Alabama.
Yeah, that's
just ironic.
They say they hire him and the transfers try to go back, and he's like, "Nah, man, what do you think this is? You're good enough for me when I was in Florida State.
You can't play here." That would be funny.
I could tie that into some Alabama and Miami right there, because I remember Nick Saban at a press conference saying, "I will not be the next Alabama head coach," and then by dinner time, dude was gone.
Right.
Gone.
That's what happens when Alabama comes calling, man.
Right.
Norvell just gets up to use the restroom at breakfast and like, dude, we ain't seen him since, man. His car's gone,
man.
He's like, hold on, kids. I'm just gonna run out and get a pack of cigarettes and some milk. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Text him a picture from Tuscaloosa, like, hey, what's up?
I got the cigarettes and milk, boys.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I think he's gone, man.
Well,
it's Alabama. It's like the Yankees, bro.
I know. Well, sometimes it's
I think if it gets to a point where they offer him the job, I think he probably takes it.
Yeah, I don't think he turns it down. That's what, if Alabama offers him, I don't see how he could turn it down.
Now
I do.
The question is
Willie,
for me, is like,
will he get offered?
How high up the list is he really?
I think he's pretty high up the list.
Right. I think, but
it's him. What I've heard is him, Dabo, and then and then the guy from Washington. Those are the three guys.
Right.
Because they're not going Bill O'Brien. Sark's not leaving Texas.
No. Now, what I will say is when they hired their basketball coach, the dude came out of absolute left field. Nate Oates. Nobody had mentioned him.
Well, he said it. Don't listen to anything. He specifically said that. The next time I speak will be to announce that.
For me, like, dude, Lane Kiffin getting announced at like 4 p.m. today wouldn't shock me. But I doubt it's going to.
I've thought about Lane Kiffin, but I don't know. I haven't really heard any chatter about it. That was the first guy that popped into my head as soon as Saban retired was Kiffin.
Yeah.
Might have burned too many bridges.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. I think Lane Kiffined a little too much there in Tuscaloosa.
And I honestly, I think the intensity of that fan base is just a little bit too much for him.
Yeah.
I had a buddy who was an Alabama fan who stopped being an Alabama fan when they hired Lane Kiffin as OC because it pissed him off so much.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like, what do you really want to go into that hornet's nest?
I mean,
that's
hey.
I remember that. It took Saban going there and having a drill sergeant the fan base and
because Mike Shula was fired after back-to-back 10-win seasons.
It's ridiculous. I mean, I don't know that. So that's, I mean, if you. There is. I do see in a world where he turns that down.
Let's talk about it. Like the expectation for whoever it is, be it Norvell or the guy in Washington, it's going to be like if by
playoff or bust.
Yeah, by year 3 we haven't been in the playoff.
Right.
You're going into a dead man walking season.
I mean, look what you built.
You don't have to win a title in 2 years, but you damn sure better be in the contention.
And I think it matters how you're going to be remembered, and like I think Lanning wants to be the first guy to win one in Oregon. I agree with that. Makes sense. Like you can't take all this damn money. I mean, eventually, you got to have the money to play the players. I think that's important. That's the most important thing is to have
that's a good reason to stay at Oregon with Phil Knight.
Right. Yeah. So we'll find out.
Well, I think the region of the country actually fits Dan Lanning personality. I think he really likes it out there.
Right.
I think he would actually prefer it to the Southeast. Like that had a huge impact on him. And I can understand that, man.
Pete Carroll couldn't coach at Georgia.
Yeah. It takes
that wouldn't make sense.
Right. And you get Kirby Smart, and he grew up in Bainbridge, bro. That's a natural fit. I'm homegrown.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere.
No, he's not going anywhere.
And he's got it rolling.
And dude, for a guy to be as successful as they are at a place like Alabama, you have to be Nick Saban, someone in that same mold. And you're just predicting if you're thinking that any of those coaches out there can do it.
Well, yeah, if you're looking, I don't see.
There isn't. It's ridiculous to think that any of those guys are going to come anywhere near any of the level of success that Nick Saban had.
No, nobody
so
can.
Why? So that's what I'm saying. If you want to,
but it's that
take under, like, maybe I might have a better job for 2 or 3 years, but then I might not have a job.
You know why? Because successful head coaches in college football are borderline sociopathic. Right. They have that insane drive.
Yes.
And there's no challenge that
you always want to be the best, compete in the best scenarios against the best. That's what the competitive nature of these guys at this level is.
Right.
That's why I say if they offer him, I cannot see him turning it down, man.
Well, I understand that. I get that. We'll find out. I think
it's super interesting, man. This coaching stuff in the NFL and college over the past week has been insane, dude.
I understand every Florida State fan. I mean, this happened with
it happened with Jimbo,
but that was in a different situation,
right?
That was wildly different.
Not after going. That would be similar to that happened in 2014 or 2013 if he dipped right then.
Well, and the money was just exponentially better at A&M at the time.
Right.
Bama's money isn't exponentially better than what Florida State can offer. What Alabama offers is
the prestige.
The Alabama. Prestige, everything, Alabama, and it's already like literally all you got to do. You got to think, if you're a coach going into that running machine, all you got to do is change the oil.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to you just got to keep it going.
The biggest threat to you is the expectation.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you're not, if you win, it's going to be like, oh, he didn't do it. He just changed the oil. He's just, he'll never be what Saban was. I mean, this guy.
Right.
Nobody's expecting him to be what Saban was.
I know, but I'm saying, though, if you reach the mountaintop of your career and you don't get the credit that you feel like you deserve. Like, I get like Lanning wanting to stay at Oregon, saying because he
has
be the first one,
right? And
it's not just the money; it's also the legacy that you want to leave.
He has
Bama fans love Gene Stallings, bro. Gene Stallings won 1 ring in a decade, and he followed Bear Bryant, and they love Gene Stallings.
Yeah,
that's a good counter, but
until they didn't, until they didn't, they bring him back. They bring him back, but with Lanning, look at Lanning. He has every reason to think that if he gets Oregon to that undefeated, he's going to be right there contending for a title.
Yeah. Everything that Florida State
Norvell,
is now was built by
Norvell. Like, dude, you just went 13-0.
Right. It was all built by him.
Best coaching of your career, and you didn't get shit.
Well, he got 2 Coach of the Year awards.
What's that? That's a statue for nothing.
I got the Davey O'Brien Golden Arm Award, man.
Oh, I know. Well, I understand that. Yeah.
That's the most improved try hard award right there.
Well, you have to, that's never going to happen again. And you move forward. Do you want to go build again? It's not really going to be build again. You don't. But
now I will say, I will say this though, dude. Like I think, say they hired Norvell.
You have a good year, but
that's not a guy that's going to be retained. That a lot of that roster is going to stick around for.
Right.
He's somebody that has a very distinct style and a very distinct way of doing it, and that's not going to jive with a lot of the kids that are at Alabama. It's just a different style of Nick Saban, and it's why you've seen Florida State struggle to sign a lot of high-end Southeast talent. It's just not something that appeals to kids at certain points in their life, dude. The same thing happened when he got here after Taggart. Now, I know the talent level was down, but it was still the same mentality.
And I think you can get around that by using the transfer portal.
Yeah, you can. But dude, your competition's stepping up.
Right, but that would be a reason that Alabama wouldn't.
Right, there's definitely some negatives if you're looking at it from Alabama's standpoint. And those
negatives are going to be there for damn near anybody Bama brings in at this point.
I mean, you look at Washington's guy; his recruiting is subpar.
And what contacts does he have locally?
Yeah, he's had the same staff with him everywhere he's gone.
He's had Michael Penix with him everywhere he's gone, including back to Indiana.
Yeah.
So, we'll find out.
There are pros and cons for a lot of guys.
It's so interesting, man. Yeah. Like this weekend's going to be fun. Just waiting for like stupid news reports.
Well, we might not wait.
Friday
it's going to
news
happen
dump.
tonight.
Friday
it's going to
news
dump at the night.
Yeah.
That's not going to.
I should have a couple beers in me by then.
Alabama doesn't want to wait, man. They want to get this done ASAP.
Right. And a Friday news dump speaks to it's going to be somebody that they know the fan base is going to not really be crazy about.
Right.
And I think that this delay has been, they went looking for every Saban retread they could find. Sark, Lanning, Kiffin, they all told him no. And they're like, all right, well, let's interview these three.
Honestly, Sark would have made sense if Texas wasn't rolling right now.
Yeah, and they're going to the SEC anyway. It's like, dude,
they're going to the SEC, and Texas is Texas. That's a brand.
Yeah, if y'all would have exactly, like if you guys would have like made me a head coach in waiting when I was still
you're building your own brand though right now. Like you're gonna just take over a brand that Nick Saban took over. So no matter what you do, you're just fucking changing the oil on his brand, and everything that you're putting down at Florida State right now was from you don't have to. They didn't come from Bobby Bowden. Right. That's what Jimbo did. Then it was Willie Taggart took it to the ground. You came from the depths, and you're building your own brand right now at FSU.
Right. So let's look at it from a national perspective. Maybe it's a guy that's always wanted to coach at Alabama that they turn to. Maybe a guy that played at Alabama as a walk-on wide receiver. That's right. That's right.
This is the time. If he was ever going to do it.
Yeah.
And I honestly, between all three of those, I
think Dabo's on the downslide, man.
But he could get it done
without question.
It would make the most sense for him.
I hope he stays at Clemson. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I hope Clemson clings to that for as long as they can.
But he could go in there and do what he did at Clemson. Hire the best coordinator he wants. Hire the best, staff. He'll have all that.
Oh, just go I'm just going to come here and be your cheerleader for Alabama.
Right, and he could do that. Yeah. And they would get I don't think he's out of the question here.
In terms of like what it would mean, like it would mean the world to Dabo. Because I'm doing it for Alabama, the school that I played for.
If he says he wants to get offered, and if he doesn't think he will, he'll probably just say he's not in the mix, so he doesn't have to get offered.
They'd be stupid to not talk to him.
Oh, they're definitely.
Even though I think he's washed, they'd be stupid to not talk to him.
Yeah, no, it's like I'm there with you because I've been saying it for 2 years. I think Clemson's on the downslide. I think Dabo's.
It's his refusal to adapt.
Well, that's what that is.
I think his shtick has gotten old.
Yeah.
The bring your own guts crap. I don't think that's really jiving anymore with the kids.
Right. I think he needs to redirect that into this is Alabama. We're gonna continue.
But if I'm Alabama, I don't get a coach that I see on the downslide.
No. That wouldn't be
their first choice. And I don't get a coach that the only time he's won big is when he had Deshaun Watson or Trevor Lawrence.
Right. No,
so if you get generational quarterbacks, then Dabo can win you a ring?
A ring. A title. But then
a title.
Then it's crazy. It's like, what does Alabama expect?
He would fit right in though.
What are they looking for? Like, are you looking for a guy that you think is going to be here another 15 years and
I would think so. If I'm Alabama, a realistic view for if I'm if this exists, I know it sounds like an oxymoron, but a realistic Alabama fan.
No way.
I would be, as I said, it's an oxymoron, but let's go ahead and suspend disbelief right now for a second. I would be looking for what I think would be a home run hire would be a guy we have for 10 years that wins 2 rings and makes the playoffs 4 or 5 times.
Yeah,
I think that's realistic.
But that's not probably what a lot.
No, I know, but if I'm
might not even chance to even get the first one.
If I'm the AD, that's what I'm looking at for a coach.
Yeah.
I'm looking at a coach that'll get me 2 rings in the next 10 years.
I just need 10 years out of you, and you got to win a couple rings.
Yep.
But at Alabama, you're gonna have to contend in the years that you don't win it.
Oh yeah, no. Well, especially with the roster they have. Right. I mean, it's an 11-win roster rolling out on the field.
But my question is like a guy like, again, say Norvell, like, has he shown the ability at Florida State to be able to go to a school and have a roster every year that can be in contention? Because here and again, he had a lot of
there's going to be
starting
things
behind the 8 ball.
Every
stuff.
coach doesn't have the next coach that they get.
Right.
I mean, and you're going to be nitpicked like beyond because you're replacing the greatest of all time. Right. So that's what I'm saying.
And honestly, to be honest, like the only real juice Norvell is carrying, in terms of recruits and talent going in there is that he went undefeated in his 4th year at FSU.
Right. Do you want to go? What if it doesn't work out and they turn on him and he's fired and he's out of a job?
Right.
When he could just keep it rolling here.
Yeah.
It's little tweaks here.
I think it's
this
little
be a probation little thing goes
more difficult for the next coach to recruit at Alabama than people think. I think.
Yeah. There's a reason. You don't think Nick Saban wanted to stay and keep winning like he had been? He saw that he wasn't going to be able to dominate like he had previously.
Well, yeah, and
in this environment, especially because that advantage is not there anymore. It's going to be the parity level is going to, especially in the SEC, because everybody's just going to throw everything at it.
Yeah,
they're all doing the same thing.
Here's a really good comparison, dude. It's when it's like when, again, with Alabama, when they changed the scholarship limit and Bear Bryant could no longer stack all the recruits on his bench.
Yeah.
Right. And then the TV came out, more people could see with the cable, they could see everybody at all the schools. So you had
that's how Miami built their program.
Miami and Florida State.
Playing anywhere, anywhere, so you could get on all the different regional coverages.
Exactly. Yep.
All right. Well, the AD just tweeted out at Florida State, Michael Alford, some kind of weird stuff, atting the president and Coach Norvell. There's been some rumor that he's getting a contract extension out of this.
Well, regardless, that is what's
Florida
happening.
State's got to back up the Brinks.
Oh yeah, but like,
keep him.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying with man. You got Jimmy Sexton, man. He can just it's a win-win no matter what he wants to do.
Going down his Rolodex of coaches, he can get a raise out of this.
Oh yeah, you don't want to go. I don't want you to go, but we're gonna just float it out there. And I'll get you more money than
Is Cristobal the Sexton guy? He's got to be, right? Because he was
probably.
He was with Saban, man.
I'm assuming
but he's a Miami guy. I bet he could be with Rosenhaus.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He could be with Rosenhaus, man. He's a Miami guy.
Yeah.
And when he came out of the U back in the early mid '90s, that's when Rosenhaus was first getting going, dude. I bet he's a Rosenhaus guy.
Yeah, that's you're probably right. I'm telling you, man, you're rolling the dice with Sexton because he gets you a job, and then in a year or two, he'll have
everybody's rolling
the hot seat created for him.
Yeah,
every damn coach is rolling that dice.
Yep. Well, not everyone, man. Not everyone. There's a few out there that don't mess with him. There's a few.
Yeah, if I'm gonna roll the dice, I'm gonna roll a set of loaded dice at Alabama.
Yeah. I mean, you're gonna have the advantages built in.
Yeah, and if I'm an elite level coach, I got to think, let me go to the school that's got the brand, the machine is rolling. I'm going to have everything at my disposal. Imagine if he had 4 Keon Colemans running around on his offense.
So what if they look to the Big 12? The current Big 12. The team that seems to be the next one in the crosshairs in terms of after the ACC getting destroyed, it'll be the Big 12. The guy that seems on the outside looking in. Are there any coaches in the Big 12 that are even worth shit?
Dude, bring in Mike Gundy.
Prime?
Mike Gundy, baby.
Mike Gundy.
I'm a man.
Oh, my God, dude. You want to talk
Mike
about...
Gundy.
Oh, man. It would be such... It seems like such a natural fit, but I can tell you right now from having so many family and friends in Alabama, like... The hatred for Mike Gundy would be off the charts, dude.
I love Mike Gundy. He's my favorite coach in the country, dude. I absolutely love that guy.
I think, like, when you talk about our coach has to take the football seriously and Mike Gundy being like, dude, it's just football. Like, we won a game, I'm going to go play golf when I'm in Orlando. Yeah, we lost 45-3. Who gives a shit?
Dude, and what's crazy is all he does is go 9-3 at Oklahoma State every year.
I'm still gonna figure out a way to go 9-3 and play in the championship game just to lose to Texas. It's fine.
Yep, I'll sneak an upset or two in during the season, and then I'll drop one to Kansas for no reason.
Exactly. Hey, we won Bedlam. Yeah, but you lost to like Tennessee Tech. Who cares? We beat Oklahoma. Yeah.
What was that tweet that he said?
Well, it's not a tweet. It's not words. It's just a picture of a smoking chimney, kind of like the Pope when they elect the new Pope. Yeah. So, with a spear and a handshake. So I think something might be getting done.
Yeah, I mean, Florida State's got to act quick. I mean, like, I was like, dude, I'll double your salary. Don't leave.
Yeah. You got to get down on your knee and be like, dude, I'm not letting you leave, bro. Grab his legs and don't let him walk to the airport. Just whatever you
Yeah, exactly.
Because I fully believe that if it happened, man, you may not have any other choice than to hire Deion or to take a shot at him.
Oh, no.
And good God, man, if I got to become a Deion Sanders fan, it's going to kill me.
It would be entertaining.
That's all it would be for. I mean, the recruiting would be off the charts in terms of, the flashy cool kids. You'd get 5 stars and you'd get all those busts that come along with that. But the actual substance on the field would be a nightmare.
Well,
we had to go.
So it's going to be cold in Kansas City.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Yeah. We got to do NFL picks.
That's a different shuttle.
Yeah, that wasn't that one. We got to get your NFL picks, the champion of the Latin Jug.
Yeah, I'll be waiting a little bit because I got to consult with my.
We're gonna get Jimmy. We're gonna get
with my ringer since it's playoff
time. See
time.
who you got in the playoffs, man. And it's me, the Dolphins, man. First, before we get there, the Dolphins did not finish the season out right. The leader of the division the whole year.
The Dolphins,
only to
man.
lose it to the Bills at the end.
I called it at like the beginning of December, dude. I saw it coming.
Yep. Well,
I saw it coming, and I'm really happy about it. No, man, and dude, the defense played great against the Bills, man. The defense did everything they could as they were dropping, like there was a sniper up there shooting them in the hamstrings.
Mm-hmm.
The defense played great and did everything they could to win. Tua, starting to lose faith in Tua being elite.
Oh,
he's really good, but I think he's only so good. I think he might be Jared Goff.
Uh-oh.
Because he had a shot at the end of that Bills game to drive it down at home. He had the ball at like the 40-yard line, like a minute 40 seconds left. Here's your moment to go win the division. And he threw a pick on like the 4th play.
He does that. But he plays so well in a lot of games, and they're more.
I know, that's what's frustrating. Can
I say something as a observer, as a neutral observer, as a fan?
Yeah.
What if I'm just going to propose this? What if it's his he's just not big enough and strong enough to last an entire game efficiently?
Yeah.
What if by the time it comes to crunch time at the end of the game, he ain't got it? He's a tiny guy. That body wears. He's already been through it.
But he doesn't get hit.
Yeah.
Right. Well, no, he does. But like that, his fear of maybe getting hit, his anticipation might be off. But I mean, he plays so well in some of the games, like really well, like top of the league. Well, like he thread some of those throws look like Kurt Warner.
NFL's hard, man.
It is. The NFL is very, very hard.
Again, as a neutral
and you have
observer,
a guy who's getting it done. I think you stick with him.
I don't think he needs to be elite.
I don't want to run too.
And he doesn't have to be elite. You just have to.
Not with the weapons you have.
Now Miami they're not out of it. I think the weapons, they need to all be healthy, especially on the defensive side too, so you can have that defense there for you. But you're right. And at home,
I've never seen anything like that, man.
You need
the way y'all's players have been dropping like these last month,
right?
Injury after injury, it's insane.
But we still only gave up 2 touchdowns on defense and a punt return to the Bills, dude. You give up 21 points in modern
defense
football
well
at home, you win that game.
You're right. Yeah. You're right. That was the game that question marks. Will he?
That was Tua's moment.
When he make up, well, he'll have another one, and it's going to be Saturday night. You got to have Peacock to watch it. It's going to be 13 degrees in Kansas City.
People screwing Miami again.
Well, I mean, this is a rematch of the game in Germany, right?
Yeah, which was a sloppy, like oddly played game.
Ended up being a really good game at the end, but
yeah, it was a good game, but it wasn't what anybody expected. And I see something similar here in this game, because of the weather,
right?
And the way that the Chiefs' offense is not like Patrick Mahomes is. They've not looked elite,
right?
Down the stretch,
they don't seem like they have an offense that's built for their own climate. Like
we'll see.
They have no wide receivers that.
Will Miami's defense be able to travel there and stop them in a home playoff game without Bradley Chubb?
Without Bradley Chubb, without Jerome Baker, and without Van Ginkel.
And is
Vanilla Ice is out?
Yeah.
Damn.
Dude, everybody's out, man. I don't even think Xavier Howard's going to be back.
Right, I was just about to ask.
Yeah, I haven't heard any update period on Xavier Howard.
All right. Well, that's great news. You ready to pick?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. All right, let's start it with that the game before that. Let's get your pick on your take on the Browns and the Texans.
Man, I love me some Texans. And that win on the road against Indy was a great game last weekend. CJ Stroud had his moment that Tua couldn't have. But I've been riding the Browns with Joe Flacco, and I'm going to keep riding with the Brownies, dude. That defense is out of control, and Joe Flacco looks like Joe Flacco in the Super Bowl run for the Ravens like a decade ago.
Okay. All right. Going with the Browns. We'll have more picks coming at you later. We're gonna see if we can beat Jimmy Jr. at the playoffs. He wants to do it. So
yeah, he's in school right now.
Right. Let's go to Dolphins Chiefs.
All right. So we already got a little bit of the breakdown on that. And also Waddle and Mostert are both listed as questionable still.
Yeah.
On the road in Kansas City, freezing cold weather. Achane goes for 250, 4 touchdowns. Dolphins win, baby.
Totally redeem themselves. That would be, and then they,
you guys got some sexy running backs. I'm gonna be honest with you, dude.
We'll see.
I know.
A lot of speed coming out of that.
Achane, man, dude, this game's gonna be determined by the run game, dude. Who runs the ball better?
It's gonna be really, really cold.
It's gonna be freezing cold. Nobody's gonna throw the ball.
Yeah,
we'll find out. All right,
timing routes, baby.
Let's go to Sunday. The Bills are hosting the Steelers. Who you got in this?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like a blizzard in that game.
Oof. Wow.
And I cannot pick Mason Rudolph and the Steelers minus TJ Watt in a blizzard in Buffalo against Josh Allen, dude. I think Josh Allen puts on his Superman cape in this game,
right,
and single-handedly wins.
Yep. No TJ Watt's big. All right, let's go to a classic 90s NFC matchup. The Packers are going to Dallas to play the Cowboys. Cowboys would be hilarious if they choked and lost this game. Oh my God. You could get fired after a good season if you lose this game.
Yeah.
Something like that. What do you think? You see it happening? Who you got?
All right, for shits and giggles, here's my scenario. Green Bay wins. McCarthy gets fired. Saban to the Cowboys.
Oh,
go Pack, go. I got the Packers in the upset.
Go Pack, go.
Oh, wow. All right.
It's the Cowboys, man. If the Dolphins are going to dolphin at the end of the season, the Cowboys have to cowboy.
Yeah, that's true. All right, let's go to Detroit. As this is going to be a fun game. The Rams are going to be on the road playing the Lions. Man Campbell. Who you got?
I'm actually really excited for this game. I've been riding the Rams for about 6 weeks now in the picks. I've always been a Stafford fan, but not as big of a Stafford fan as I am a fan of Man Campbell. Yeah. Lions at home get their first playoff win in like 3 decades.
All right. Then we have another Monday nighter, the last one. The Eagles will be going to play the Bucks, who won the NFC South at 9-8. But the Eagles haven't been playing good at all, and A.J. Brown's out. So who you got in this?
Let Baker bake. I got the Bucks in the upset at home, taking down the Eagles, dude. The Eagles are falling apart.
Yeah.
I mean, I said like for the past month almost in the picks, all right, this is the game the Eagles get it together. And then they lose to some crap team. And they do it over and over and over again. I don't see how they can turn the tide on this, dude. These guys are just falling off a cliff.
Yeah. And A.J. Brown's out. No A.J. Brown?
Wait, you told me he was out for the year.
Yeah, I think he got hurt in the last game.
Oh.
Yeah. All I heard was all I had heard about that was it was a really bad injury. So I was just assuming he was out.
Yeah, I think he's out. I think he's definitely out. Yeah. Whew, that's rough, man.
Yeah, so I got this playoff being a lot of upsets.
Yeah, I mean, it's NFL, dude.
None of these higher seeds are all that impressive to me right now.
Right. Well,
I do think that the Browns' defense is probably the most impressive of anything. So
you got the Browns.
That's the most elite unit in football.
Yeah.
Bills. Packers. And Bucks.
Packers taking out their old coach.
Wow.
What if Belichick goes to the Cowboys?
Oh wow. Wow.
All right, well, we got to get on out of here.
All right, well, Mike Norvell just tweeted out, great day to be a Knoll. I guess the I'm staying at FSU tweet.
Yeah! So, I told y'all.
I guess on to the next guy.
I guess it's Dabo.
It's going to be Dabby.
It's not going to be the Washington coach?
I think he just, I don't
everybody just moved in to get paid. Right. I mean, you got it rolling at both those programs, Washington and Florida State.
It's like, oh, man, that's a great job, Alabama.
I'm not going
I'm not going there. Shit.
But, hey, give me some more money here so I can say that I'm not scared of it.
Exactly, man. It's, it'll be interesting to see.
Because it's going to be funny. I mean, like you said, it's dead man walking, Jimmy.
Yeah,
dude. What if Alabama has to settle for like their fifth choice?
Tommy Rees,
a first-time head coach or a coordinator. That'd be hilarious.
I think Saban.
There's no way he saw that report. He's like, really?
Me? Well, Saban's putting in a good word for Tommy Rees.
All right.
Yeah, that's what I had heard.
Yeah.
There you go. And he said he's going to put an office in.
Right.
He's like, hey, I'll put it on. That sounds like, hey, if you hire Tommy,
I'll stick around for a couple years, and if he doesn't work
I'll put an office in the stadium.
When I'm ready to go and down to Jupiter, Florida, full time, if he's not doing well on his own, you guys feel free to fire him.
Well,
there you go.
Way to go! We do a whole podcast. We see that tweet. I love it.
Yep.
But it was fun to talk about.
It was, man.
It still raises a lot of the same questions.
It does
in the game.
And hey, until they hire somebody, nothing's ever really off the table.
So. That's true. And we got hoops coming around, man. Miami with a shocker, losing at home to Louisville.
Yeah, no, and they were up like the entire game.
Yeah.
Right. It could be the curse of Matthew Cleveland.
Could be.
I mean, addition by subtraction, Florida State looks to be.
Not for
they
nothing,
just matched their win total last year with 9 wins.
I will say that's the only Miami game I've watched.
But that's basketball. It happens.
This season, but it sure looked like his teammates don't like him. Same thing at FSU. But yeah, ACC, they're still the class of the ACC.
Right. Well, we got some ACC hoops to watch this weekend. We'll get back into the hoops next week, and we'll talk to you about it right here on the North Florida Sports Network.
We had to go. Our ride was here. We got a shuttle to our